Good morning, everybody. I woke up and just wanted to post something about my morning thoughts. Some reading that I did yesterday, and some stuff I saw on the news, and it's about this guy Donald Trump. A couple of days ago, a significant event happened, and a lot of us was amused by it because they were thinking he didn't know what he was doing. They was thinking that he was pretty much, I guess, lost in the education of the world. But so he signed February. He declared February as National African American History Month. So I hear a lot of people saying, wait. How you going? It's already been National African American History Month. No, it wasn't. It was Black History Month. You might not see the significance in that, but just think about it. Black history, African American history. There's a huge significance in that. African American history is history about Africans in America. How did African American history start? Black history is Black history. See, what you got to realize is Black history didn't start as an African American slave. And that's what African Americans, that word African American, when you think about it, the representation is that's how we got to America. We were bought over, we were slaves, and in some cases we still are. And so when I think about Black history, I don't think about slaves. I don't think about that because I don't know about you, but my history, my Black history didn't start. My ancestors didn't start as slaves. Now, some of my ancestors were slaves. Hell, some of my ancestors might have been slave masters. You know, they kept them a matron in the room with them. So I don't know, but I'm doing research on that. But past that, Black History Month started well before African American history. Black history started off with kings, queens, warriors, doctors. If you just break it down to African American history, so you got to think about just the Harriet Tubmans, the Martin Luther Kings. You got to think about the slaves that revolted, or just slaves. And guess what? We don't know a lot of the slaves' names. Nat Turner, we know about him, but it's so much negativity behind that because of what he did. He tried to save his life. We're going to do anything to save our life. But going back to Black history, again, my ancestry started well before American history. And I don't know what this whole hoopla about American history is anyway. It's a slap in the face to just give us 1 month. Think about it. This country was built on the backs of our ancestors. The blood, the sweat and tears, everything built. The White House was built by slaves. So if you sit back and just think that our history started when that boat came over, when Jesus brought us over here, on that boat called Jesus brought us over here, which is our Savior, really, brought us over here, come on. That's asinine. Black history is what it is. It's Black history. Look at the significance of that. We're the only ones over here that utilize the word African American history. Well, African American. I'm sorry. I am American with African descent. I am American with African descent. Listen to that. American with African descent. Now, I'm not knocking anything as far as my African descent because I'm proud of that. But I do know that my family, some of my family and my ancestors were brought over here from Africa. They were enchained, slaved. They came over here, whipped, beat, hung, tortured, raped, mutilated. So February, you can have February. It's the shortest month in the year anyway. Don't mean nothing to me. There's only a few significant days in February that I really think about. I got my daughter, and this is the name of a few, not all of them, but my daughter, February 16th, her birthday. My wife, February the 19th, her birthday. My son, February 23rd, his birthday. That's my that's my black history in February. Past that, every day is black history to me. I teach my daughter. My daughter know more about black history than a lot of us 20, 30, 40-year-olds out there. And guess what? As she get older, I'm going to continue to teach her about black history. But not just about black history, but this is what I'm talking about right now. It's a situation that really bothers me because we're so lost. Our mind is so polluted with this nonsense that the media puts out there, and with this new our new president, we're fooled. And you know, people's like, oh, the world has changed because we had a black president. That right there just made us complacent. We thought he was going to be the savior of all. Don't get me wrong, the man did a lot. He did a lot, and I think he could have did more. But with that being said, he still wasn't going to save us all. He couldn't have been the savior because they wasn't going to let him. You got to understand that African American history, being called African American history, that is an insult to us. That is an insult to America, because America was built on our backs. And if you want to talk about African American history, put it in the schools. Talk about black history. Talk about the kings, King Zulu. Talk about the ones that couldn't be defeated. Talk about the great queens. Talk about how a lot of the inventions, like the red light, peanut butter, cell phones, were invented by us. Do you know one of my favorite drinks in the world, whiskey? There's a gentleman named Jack Daniels. He put his name on that label, but it was his slave that invented it. Come on, really? So I go back to African American history. An insult, really. You can have that.